Hey guys, this is Hell Hades free to play 2023. Yes, we are on day 11 in game, which means I'm playing 10 days in. And it's a massive, massive day for the free to play account. Massive decision to make. We have got enough food to go 6-star on another champion. So pretty much after getting my El Hain, got myself into a good solo spot. And I haven't really progressed with missions much further. I haven't really progressed with challenges much further. I've gone a pretty different direction from a lot of the different creators, yeah? I have gone food crazy. And you can see here, we've got another 4-star ready to go. See that I have taken the food up a little bit because the lunar event is on. And although it sucks, the kind of card flipping thing, you do get rewards for, you know, leveling out a bit of food. So someone like this, like I say in my videos, it's still worth throwing in a couple of brews, even if it's just like 2 or 3 to get yourself some levels before you feed those champions, because it's worth a decent amount of points, which is going to get you some rewards back. Anyway, we've got 5 5-star chickens. Mad Monk is going. The Outlaw Monk has actually been really useful for my account, but I've got Kale, I've got Poison, and he was always going to be a stopgap and a path to the next 6-star. Honestly, if I could, I'd like to keep him for another week. But all that's going to do is slow down my next 6-star. And my next 6-star is going to progress my account way quicker than the Monk will. So the Monk's got to go. And I've got this hard decision to make, right? I've been thinking about this for the last couple of days. In fact, I've got 2 really hard decisions. Firstly, who's the next 6-star? And there's only really, at the moment, 3 choices, okay? We've got Shinuru. I've invested quite a lot of books into Shinuru. Probably a mistake, but that's what I've done. And she will be way stronger as a 60 than she is as a 50. Right now, she's kind of weak, but as a 60, she can become a really good campaign farmer with her A3. And she can therefore let me free up everybody else to do other jobs. But I've already got a decent farm going on with El Hain. It's like a 30-second, 40-second farm on 12-3 Brutal. So, honestly, to bring another campaign farmer in at this stage is a luxury, in my opinion. So, although she could do it well, and she does have a debuff that I can make use of on Clan Boss to weaken, I feel like that would be a massive luxury to take her up. Which really leaves me Rhonda or Kale. Now, if I had a blessing for Rhonda, and I could put Brimstone out there, I think it would be Rhonda all day long. But I feel like Rhonda won't bring me as much instant value compared to Kale, who's going to be in basically every dungeon that I'm running. And his poisons in the earlier game dungeon stuff is going to be really beneficial. The main problem I've got or the main challenge I've got in terms of deciding is Kale already does quite a lot of damage in stuff like Clan Boss as 50 because of his poisons. They're already doing the damage. Rhonda doesn't do anything really as 50. So I might get short-term spike of damage for something like Clan Boss. I think the higher spike would actually be Rhonda. But I think I'm going to do Kale just because he can help me progress in a ton more areas of the game. You know, things like the Dragon, the Ice Golem, all of those areas that I need to now start pushing. I think Kale does it better. And also, Kale was just easy to book, being rare books. So I've got him fully booked. Rhonda, I've got 3 books lying around for, but those 3 books really don't make the difference on a Rhonda. So I think we're going to go Kale for the next 6-star. This is my first big decision to make. And it's what I'm decided to do. But please comment below, what would you have done? Yeah, based on what you're seeing on my account, what would you have done? There is an argument as well, I guess, to say, you know, someone like Skimfost or Cornelia, both really good epics that I've pulled. Very different, but they're both going to be good for me. But I think both of them can run as 50s quite well for a while. So that's actually going to be my next thing to do. After I get Kale up here, we're going to keep the gear that was on the monks. That was good. That will be the next thing that I do. So Kale, 6-star, 10th day of playing. We've got ourselves a second 6-star champion. It's actually massive. This time round, because we've got a champion training event on with this lunar thing, we're going for the barrel. We're taking him straight up to level 60. Bam. 826 points. Thank you for that. And I also now want to take him up in ascension levels. I can't probably max this out just yet. No, I need some more blue pots. But I will take him up to 6-star ascension as soon as I can as well. But there you go. So Kale now fully maxed out in terms of levels. My next job is going to be get these two up to level 50 so that we've got a bit more. I can kind of start bringing them into other teams. The other thing which is in the mix here for me is gems, right? I've got a level 1 gem mine at the moment, spitting out a measly 5 gems a day. Kind of useless, right? Normally what I would advise people to do is to go straight into level 2 and then level 3 if you're a long-term player. But what I'm considering right now is, would I be better off saving for a little bit longer and just buying up Kale's mastery so that I've got 2 champions with max masteries, because that makes a huge difference in clan boss, and it will make a huge difference in clearing other stuff like dragon, ice golem, other areas of the game. Things like doom tower waves, like all of that stuff just gets a lot easier with masteries, especially on a damage dealer. On support champions, masteries are way less impactful, but on anyone who's going to do damage, masteries are kind of where it's at. So I'm thinking, instead of going for that gem mine, I'm going to invest the next 800 gems into Kale, and then I'll be going gem mine after that. So different play to what I normally would do. Now, I probably should have done this before I upgraded actually, but I'm going to YOLO my 2 ancient shards because we're on a YOLO account this time around, and see what we get. First epic from an ancient. First epic, it's Candlehead. Carlinia. So normally I'd be like, she's useless, but let's actually see what she does. Because on a free-to-play, epics can make a big difference for you. HP burn A1. Oh, if I had some sort of debuff spreader, that could be huge, actually. But a burn, when I get into Hydra, I've got no burns whatsoever right now. That could be kind of okay. AoE decrease attack A2. This debuff cannot be resisted if the target's under a burn. You know why this is stupid, right? You need accuracy to place your burn. You don't need accuracy to place this. You've got to build it with accuracy. Unless you bring someone else for the burn, I guess. That's kind of dumb. And then what's this here? A mini strengthen reduces the duration of all debuffs on all allies by a turn. Then places strengthen. This buff cannot be removed or stolen. Interesting. This is actually a really good Hydra ability. This is kind of a good Hydra ability if you've got an AoE HP burner. What's the passive? Every time an enemy under burn gets a turn, decreases the duration of 2 random buffs on that enemy by 1 turn. Oh, if only I had a burner to go alongside her. She would actually be really useful to me right now. This is where epics that you kind of write off, when you've got really no champions to invest in, they can be pretty useful. Okay, let's see what else we get. Number 2. It is a rare. Oh no, it's not Metal Shaper. Metal Shaper would have been way better than this dude. But Bogwater does have a big decrease attack A1, which at the moment, I mean, I don't really have a decrease attack clan boss champion unless we're talking about someone like Skimfrost who might end up doing the job. This could be better than Skimfrost, honestly. Also brings weak source, increased defense everywhere, and a reflect. Low speed. I don't know. What do you guys reckon? Would you go Bogwalker and get his A1 going, or would you invest a bit more into either the chick that we just picked out as a decrease attacker? I would need to book her to do that. Or Skimfrost, who I know I'm going to be using anyway, but he does have a decrease attack as well. The rest of his kit, though, doesn't really do anything at all in Clan Boss. So I guess now we've got a 6-star, or a second 6-star. The thing we should be trying to look to do is try and beat Spider 10. That would be a massive thing for me here. Spider 10 is a challenge. It's been a challenge. I really would like masteries on Kale, but we're still going to be short on gems for that. But Spider 10 is really going to be a kind of big ticket item for me. It might be that I need Skimfrost before I can really do it. Skimfrost would make quite a big difference in terms of his turn meter control. But too many level 40s when you start to deal with, you know, stages like 10 plus, you just fall down. In fact, even here, level 40 is probably too low. Might just try and straight nuke it. If this doesn't work, then I guess I'm going to have to bring Skimfrost and Cornelia up to 50 before I start doing any of my dungeon progression. Because really, Spider 10 is a good way to get yourself good accessories for your teams. And it's definitely kind of where you need to be next. I think Cornelia with her speed lead and her ability to do some sort of control will be helpful. Albeit, you kind of just want to AoE down Spiderlings at this point. So sleeping Spiderlings until we get to the point where she can fear as well when I get her ascended. It's not doing too much for me. But a Stimphos actually with his decreased turn meter and decreased speed and decreased attack AoE will help for the actual boss part. And that's probably where we're going to be falling down mainly. Cornelia, though, does actually have a kind of heal mechanic, which is going to help us a bit. But question is, can I keep my team alive long enough, even close to alive long enough to deal with it? And probably the answer is no. Kale, once he's got masteries, I mean, it's potential for him to actually just solo Spider 10. I know Saf's using a solo build at the moment. Albeit, Saf's got like much better gear than I've got. So I think that kind of changes the kind of landscape a little bit for me. And you see very quickly the level 40s go down. Kind of left with your level 50s and 60s. Soon, with no lifesteal gear and Rhonda means that she's going to go down as well. And then really it's going to be, can Kale and Elhain deal with Spiderlings and the main spider before the main spider's just kind of healing up. And this is why you want a lot of AoE damage, because the more Spiderlings she eats up, the more she heals. So I'm going to let this play through to see if it's a clear or a wipe, and that'll give me a good sense of what I need to do next. Okay, so quite clearly a fail here. What I now need to do is find ways to get gems. Yeah, I need Kale to get his masteries in. I need basically 215 gems. So I need to go looking. I need to find out where are places where I can get them. You know, somewhere like this Nightmare Campaign. I can do a few more levels here now and get myself another 100 gems. And I can start looking in places like the challenges to see where we can either pick up some gems or missions and see where we can pick up some gems. Obviously, you do pick up gems on a daily basis anyway, doing things like your advanced quests, your daily quests. And I need to be looking towards things like the tournaments and seeing, you know, how accessible are the gem counts in these places? How accessible is it to finish in the top kind of group to get myself more gems here? Arena one, for example, I'm currently sitting in third. I either want to be second or really I want to be fourth at this point, because those 50 gems are worth more to me than probably some of this Relentless gear, maybe. It's a tough one, actually. But yeah, that's kind of like my next play is get Kale's masteries, and then we will start unlocking a lot more areas of the game. There you go, guys. I've been Hell Hades, free to play, punching on. I'll see you later.